Not the slightest trace of a cultivator's aura could be detected from the old man. He appeared no different from an ordinary mortal. He lowered his head respectfully. "Greetings, Elder." The white-haired elder let out a gentle laugh. "There is no need for such courtesy. I am merely an old man who should have perished long ago, yet somehow continues to linger." The elder's face seemed faintly familiar, yet Lin Fan could not recall where he had seen him before. His presence was warm and approachable, like a kindly old grandfather next door, naturally putting others at ease. Of course, Lin Fan understood all too well that this man was anything but ordinary. The depth of his cultivation was unfathomable, far beyond what Lin Fan could perceive at present. This realization only made Lin Fan grow more guarded. The white-haired elder spoke gently. "Have you come to submit the cloudwater model?" Lin Fan nodded, presenting the multicolored miniature construct. The elder received the tiny cloudwater palace and examined it closely, a trace of nostalgia clouding his gaze. "Yes, this is indeed it, P51. It has been far too long." His eyes turned distant, as though sinking into memories long buried by time. Hearing these words, Lin Fan's heart skipped a beat. He remained standing silently to the side, not daring to act rashly. From the elder's tone, it sounded as though he belonged to the same era as that turtle snake Tai. The destruction of Cloudwater Palace had taken place countless years ago. How could this man have endured until now? Ever since the Great Reformation, cultivators had been plagued by the world's malignant will, losing the longevity once enjoyed in ancient times. To live for 1,000 years was already an extreme feat. What level of cultivation would allow one to survive this long? Spirit transformation? Tao unity? Lin Fan suppressed his spiraling thoughts, yet his vigilance only deepened. Sensing Lin Fan's unease, the white-haired elder smiled faintly. He asked, "What is the current condition of Cloudwater Palace?" Lin Fan then recounted everything he had witnessed in detail. Qin Tang reduced to a statue, Daoist Chong refining his own body into pills, and Tai pierced through by countless shattered swords. After a long silence, the elder sighed heavily. "If not for certain circumstances preventing me from entering Cloudwater Palace, I would never have allowed them to suffer such a fate." He cast an approving glance toward Lin Fan. "To emerge alive from Cloudwater Palace proves that you possess both keen wit and caution." Lin Fan replied humbly. "I was merely fortunate." The white-haired elder suddenly spoke again. "I have another matter I wish to entrust to you. Would you accept it?" "Please, elder, go ahead. When you have the time, make another journey to Cloudwater Palace on my behalf. Simply leave this item there." The elder produced a small white jade figurine and handed it to Lin Fan. It appeared to be carved from ordinary jade, devoid of any unusual aura, and its features were identical to the elder himself. "Since I cannot personally enter Cloudwater Palace, let this figurine accompany them in my place. As for your reward..." The elder paused briefly, then extended a finger toward Lin Fan's brow. In an instant, torrents of information surged into Lin Fan's mind. Even with divine sense at the mid-stage Qi refinement level, he felt dizzy and disoriented, his skull throbbing under the immense pressure. By the time he regained clarity, the white-haired elder had long since disappeared from the Tianxian mirror. The 100,000 contribution points had already been credited to his account. It took Lin Fan quite some time to tidy the overwhelming flood of knowledge before finally understanding the nature of the elder's payment. Heavenly Physician's Immortal Scripture. It was not a cultivation method, but rather a comprehensive medical canon. It covered not only human anatomy, pathology, diagnosis, treatment, and pharmacology, but also extended to countless species of animals and plants across the world. It was vast and all-encompassing, leaving no detail untouched. The sheer volume of knowledge was so immense that Lin Fan estimated it would take him over a decade just to fully read through it once. Yet such a priceless treasury had been transmitted to him effortlessly in a single instant by the elder. Truly remarkable, genuinely remarkable. What a pity it is so exhausting to study. For now, I can only set it aside. Lin Fan did not dare neglect the elder's request. After all, the man was a being of unfathomable power, and he had already given the reward in advance. Thus, Lin Fan set out once more for Cloudwater Palace. He had originally expected that upon arrival, his avatar would once again face senior brother Qin Tang's trials. Yet, after a flash of white light radiated from the figurine within his storage ring, Lin Fan found himself standing directly before the main gates of Cloudwater Palace. The jade figurine slipped free on its own, rising into the air before slowly dissolving like melting frost. He waited for a time, but nothing unusual occurred within the palace grounds. Is it finished just like that? It feels almost too smooth. Lin Fan pondered uneasily. What purpose did that figurine serve? Unable to discern anything further, he ultimately chose to leave. Back within the Tianxian mirror, Lin Fan gazed at his balance of 100,000 contribution points, his thoughts growing deep. Originally, Li Fan had intended for his avatar to claim the points, exchange them for needed techniques and treasures, and then pass them to his true self, just as Xiao Heng had once done when delivering the lesser water manipulation art in a previous life. However, after encountering the white-haired elder, Li Fan abandoned that plan. For now, it was safest for the avatar and the true self to remain completely unconnected. That elder gave Li Fan an overwhelming sense of danger, and the avatar had already drawn his attention, if their link were exposed. As for whether the 100,000 contribution points would be wasted in the avatar's possession, there was no cause for concern. In this world, the most valuable assets were forms of knowledge, especially techniques. When the avatar studied various texts, it was no different from the true self learning them simultaneously. Therefore, spending those points through the avatar was equivalent to spending them directly. Resolving himself, Lin Fan first searched for information regarding the ancient war that Qin Tang and Taoist Chong had repeatedly mentioned within Cloudwater Palace. Resolving himself, Lin Fan first searched for information regarding the ancient war that Qin Tang and Taoist Chong had repeatedly mentioned within Cloudwater Palace. While the avatar, Lin Fan, immersed himself in the hidden truths of the cultivation world, Li Fan's true self traveled by teleportation array to Liuli Island under the cover of night. However, He Zhenghao was nowhere to be found. The guardian of the island's protective formation was an unfamiliar cultivator. It seemed He Zhenghao had yet to return from exploring the cave dwelling. Li Fan did not linger on the matter. After offering a brief nod, he exited the array, concealed his presence, and silently made his way toward the residence of Zhang Haobua, captain of the Tsengyuan. Gazing upon the sleeping Zhang Haobua, a faint smile appeared on Li Fan's lips. 19 years remained before the crimson flame would evaporate the sea. Now that the avatar was established, parts of his plan could be arranged in advance. He activated the Cloudwater Dream Illusion art. Zhang Haobua jolted awake from a nightmare, his body drenched in cold sweat. He gasped heavily, the lingering terror refusing to subside. Only after a long while did he regain his senses. Looking around blankly, he muttered, "This is Liuli Island? Was it all merely a nightmare? Yet what kind of dream could feel so vividly real?" In that dream, he had fished up a corpse from the sea. Along with it came a book. Despite being soaked in seawater for so long, the text within remained perfectly intact. Sea Calming Sword Art. It was a cultivation technique originating from the ancient Cloudwater Palace, capable of being cultivated up to the foundation establishment realm. It allowed the practitioner to condense 24 sea calming swords within the Dantian and unleash them upon enemies. Relying on this powerful art, his cultivation had surged rapidly. In just over a decade, he had risen from an ordinary mortal to the late-stage chi refinement realm. He stood on the threshold of foundation establishment, but then the mere recollection of what followed caused Zhang Haobua's body to tremble uncontrollably. Above the Tsongyin Sea, a translucent crimson figure had suddenly appeared, holding a seemingly weak flame in its grasp. Yet it was this very flame that, over the course of 10 years, gradually boiled the entire Tsongyin Sea dry. His family, his friends, his homeland, everything was annihilated. The cultivators of myriad immortals island resisted with all their might. But the figure was far too powerful, and its arrival far too sudden. The Tsongyin Sea became a sealed death zone, impossible to escape or enter. With no reinforcements, every cultivator of myriad immortals island ultimately perished, managing only to severely wound the entity. In the end, a torrent of blazing fire descended from the heavens, reducing the island to ashes, and thus, the nightmare came to an end. Yet Zhang Haobua could not calm his mind for a long time. Was it truly just a dream? How could an ordinary mortal like him dream of Myriad Immortals Island and the Tianxian Mirror, things he had never even conceived of before? And that cultivation technique as well. Wait! Zhang Hao's eyes suddenly sharpened. The sea-calming sword art surfaced instantly within his mind, every word and every line incomparably clear.